Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. Your key to the week this week is the High Priestess. You are in a special place this week because this is your card. Remember, the High Priestess represents Cancer, it represents the moon. More so even than the moon card. So this I find really interesting because it's your card, it's your energy. Your psychic awareness, abilities and antenna are probably going to be very high this week. I'm sure they were heightened by that eclipse. How was it for you? How was that eclipse, right? The other thing with the High Priestess, remember, whenever this card shows up, one of the things that I often say with this is where hidden things are revealed. The High Priestess, it's a moment very often where our intuition is confirmed. Something that we didn't know now comes out from behind the scenes and we get to see it in full broad daylight. Interestingly enough, it can represent secrets, it can represent things like that, but it can also represent your own intuitive faculty. One thing that we often don't talk about enough with the High Priestess card though is purity. So in some way, shape or form in all of these sectors, there might be somewhere that you need to strip things back and bring it back to basics in order to get clear on something. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Seven of Pentacles. For those of you that have had or have secret investments that you've been working on behind the scenes, this might be a time where they come to fruition and you start to see them. Another way that this could show up for you is, ow, sorry, I just got an electric shock from the wall. Ow. It's like, watch your posture. Okay, I'm sorry. One of the things that also shows up here for you as well is, because the Seven of Pentacles for me it's a patience card, right? It asks you to take your time with something. And because it's in your actions, this is about what you do. So slow, steady cultivation, especially if you're working on something behind the scenes. This is a week to really refine that process and to really ask yourself, what have I rushed here? What actually isn't quite as ready as I thought it was? And where is it that I can lean into perfecting what is already what is already there? Now, that being said, you've got this with the High Priestess. So this is where for a lot of you, you might be sharing something or maybe an investment or some time, and it can be your time. It doesn't have to be like an actual monetary investment, although for some of you it will be. This can be where you are actually seeing some kind of result, or you're ready to start sharing more of what you've been working on up until this point. I actually will say this to you, it will come good, whatever it is. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Love this, right? So solid conversations this week, but also big realizations when it comes to the work, the profession, or the studies. The thing with the Page of Pentacles, and especially because you've got it with the High Priestess, this is something about your work that's being revealed or something that is now starting to see the light of day. I am going to say, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is where you knuckle down. Right, this is where you really are getting back to basics. It's like you're stripping something back to say, okay, this has, it's gone well up until this point, but I'm overcomplicating it. And I think this week you will see where you are overcomplicating something, where it's not quite having... Yeah, where it's maybe it's just a little bit too busy. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be you embarking on some new form of work, some new form of study. You could be working on a secret project within the company, or maybe one is revealed to you at this time and you say, actually, you know what, I'd really like to be a part of this. Are you interested? Like, can I get into that? Another way that it might show up as well, you might find that you start working on something behind the scenes that is going to take you out of the job that you currently have. And then finally, for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this could be where you start developing something new and it's taking a lot of time, effort and energy, but it really is a worthy pursuit. But it's almost like whatever you're doing, it takes you back to the level of novice. So even if this is something that it's like you're having to go right back back to the beginning to really fine tune or hone something, which, you know, could be great. It's going back to the basics with everything is actually where it's at. Even I think it was Bruce Lee that said, you know, somebody that's practiced one thing, 1,000 things one time is way less deadly than somebody that's practiced the same thing 1,000 times. So, you know, and he was a big believer in getting back to the basics, like whatever the basics are of your art, your craft, your whatever, that is where the building blocks are. And if you perfect those things, that's when you can call yourself a true master. For those of you that are retired, this is my little dance there. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I really like this for maybe getting into investing, learning about crypto, like really starting to look at your money, your finances and your resources. But, you know, because you've got the time and the effort and the energy to dedicate to this. I'm here for it. I think it's great. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Swords. So partnerships, relationships could be a little bit slow this week, or maybe they are requiring more space. All right. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, you're obviously both very focused on something at the moment, and so it's like the relationship takes a back seat. There's nothing wrong with it, there's nothing broken, there's no, you know, drama or anything like that. It's just one of those times where you and your significant other are both so busy with whatever you're doing. Maybe there's a touch, you know, or a kiss or a little cuddle or whatever here and there, but it's like for the most part you're doing your own thing at the moment. That's never a bad thing. It just means that you're focused on things that are important to you right now. It doesn't take away from the relationship, right? You shouldn't need to live in each other's pockets for everything to be okay. For those of you that are single and looking, love life's probably going to be slow this week because you're really focused on work and or career. However, if you are going to any sort of spiritual fair, a psychic fair, you know, a spiritual retreat or anything of that nature, that could be a place where you end up meeting somebody. Very possible. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Swords. Okay, not an easy card. You are probably going to have to part with more cash this week than maybe you care to. When it comes to your, like, yeah, this week you probably are going to have to part with some form of cash, money. You might feel this in the pocket and it's kind of like, oh, you know, it's like, okay, brace yourself, right? It could be one of those moments, but whatever it will be, it will probably be very worth it or very relevant to what you're trying to achieve. For those of you that, when it comes to your home and your environment, the Three of Swords is a card of loss. And I'm really sorry to say this, I touch wood and I hope I'm wrong. If you have pets, for those of you that have pets, especially pets that are already poorly, this may be a week where you're saying goodbye to one, and I really hope I'm wrong on that front. You know, losing fur babies, whatever they are, you know, whether it's a small animal or a big animal, it tends to, you know, it smarts. For those of you that, I don't know why I keep saying that, there's no for those of you. For your physical health and vitality, for some of you, there could be conversations around surgery this week. Surgery, and it will be minor surgery. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. I'm definitely not a surgeon. But I am seeing a conversation here taking place potentially behind the scenes. So for some of you, this could be that you're having a conversation about something that either needs to be done or removed, and it's like you're not talking about it. I get it, you know, sometimes it's because it's scary and you don't want everyone to panic or whatever. Don't ever hide this stuff from your loved ones, all right? You would be gutted, as a Cancerian, you would be gutted to find out that they were hiding something like this from you. Don't do it to somebody else, all right? With that said, I don't think it's anything major. It does feel to me like it will be something small. So for some of you, maybe it's a biopsy. For others, this could be like, you know, when you have like minor surgery to have like something removed or cut off or whatever. It could be something like that. I'm not seeing anything here that really freaks me out. But again, even still, you should tell your people, right? Certainly your inner circle. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.